dollars per capita in any Western country. That's the only point. You can't deny that.
Of course.
So there were 10 of them here per capita.
I admit to
That's all I think the point is. There's nothing more than that.
I admit to that.
Hitler was not involved.
And my argument is, had the French not spearheaded the way into North Africa,
exactly, Morocco has a lot of problems because of colonization.
Yes, so it's partially to do with the West as well.
But you can then extend the blame.
You come to our country.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Brother, are you going to let me finish? I'm speaking to the gentleman here. Yeah? You enjoy your cancer. You're killing yourself anyway. You're doing me a favour anyway. Yeah. So, brother, what I'm just trying to say is, if the West didn't destabilise these countries, we wouldn't have little kids selling themselves. When they bomb countries, people go out of jobs, people lose their friends, they get mental issues.
Correct. Yeah. The whole Barber region has had a product of Islam on one side, Western colonization on the other, and pressures from underneath.
Yeah.
And therefore you've got a tourist economy.
Brother, why don't we? How about we don't choose the way to live? How about we just welcome everyone's belief and try find a way?
There's a reason that doesn't work.
Because what you believe in, I might disagree with. I might disagree with. So I can't live on your planet then? Is that what you're saying? I should go to Jupiter? Come on.
So let me respond.
Yeah,
respond why. The reason that doesn't work is simply called genetics, right? So if you plot the 5-HTPLR gene, which is associated with individualism, and you put all the countries on an axis like this, you find the most individual countries are the Nordic Western countries. The most collectivist countries are, number one is Japan, followed by China, followed by all the African nations. So if you look at this curve over here, that gene in the S allele says white people are very individualistic, the Japanese are the tightest group, followed by the Chinese and the African nations. So when you say, why don't we all live together, one world, peace, great ideal, it's against our biology. Look around Speaker's Corner, browns get together, blacks get together.
Nah, not in my world, mate. I don't do that stuff. I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place, bro. Bro, I'll speak to you for 1 hour.
Anything. Just to get on the camera.
He
would say the Roman Empire was the most just to get on the camera.
It's not as bad as I thought.
We know you. Hands out, we know you.
And look at the conflict.
That's him, bro. That's a stressful way of living.
Let's take a country like the
I think it's more
Empire, right? Very ethnically diverse. That's because there was such tribalism within that nation.
So what you're speaking of absolutely is how do you...
And I mean, I'm not trying to be racist or anything. It was a white nation, but they all hated each other.
Yeah, but you've had very strong non-white nations collectively as well. The difference, the way to differentiate that is, what is the basis of collectivism? Hear me out for a second. What's the basis of collectivism? You can think of collectivism as a line. At one end of the extreme of collectivism...
Well, yeah, brother, I told him to delete that video. Not because I don't want to look like I am weak or something. It's just, I don't like us arguing. We shouldn't be arguing.
So
we can weak in front of who?
No, I'm just saying I want that conversation. No, but it got out of hand. I want it deleted because I tried to spread positivity and it kind of contradicted. It got out of hand.
The Roman Empire was an example of
you don't need information like that.
Indicating abstract language.
I love that word,
Pax Romana. Oh, I like more than that, but let's not take that there because people can get concerned I'm left wing. Right, so so Pax Romana is an abstract collectivism. Civic citizenship, what this guy's calling for, let's all live together, is a universal abstract principle.
What do you think, my friend?
Biology and race
in my
is
opinion,
real,
your
right?
country is. I've used your country on some. I've used your country on a lot of occasions in showing how people of different ethnicities, different religions have got on and
only by accepting your biology.
You've had the Jews, for example, were always accepted in your country. I think Rommel came down to North Africa and Morocco.
Well, you're hidden behind a little balaclava with your eyes and stuff. So I'm not sure what I.
Yeah, because no one listens to him.
Everybody knows me who I am.
When you show your face, nobody listens.
Like a tough, but you're not.
No, but when you show your face, nobody wants to listen to you.
I agree with your point to an extent. Why would you?
It's facts. It's not even a point. It's facts.
Why would you believe that we could all just live together?
He says in his
listen to this gentleman. Why do you believe that?
Why would you believe that? Why would you believe that? Just straight up, we can all just live together.
He talks about facts.
A collection of people,
and that's the truth.
When we see via our very nature, by how
you want to deny it, deny the truth.
That we see an alien, so to speak, someone who is not us, and we see them and we go, okay, I don't know that person. I am therefore scared of that person. Therefore, I won't spend time with that person. Hence why.
And you know, it's not a black and white answer. It's a balance between two tensions. One is of abstract collectivism. For example, the neoliberal experiment that is running out of its course is running out of the abstract collectivism argument. My values, my constitution, my diversity. None of these are grounded in me and my tribe and my people.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Pax Romana is an example of that the gentleman gave here. Other things are example of that, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and let's say countries like India, which are united around a constitution, though they're not the same people.
Take it easy, man.
Can I say something? The reason why they're not the same people is because they've rejected the idea of tolerance.
No, because the genetics. They're genetically
You think genetics stops people from being tolerant?
Genetics doesn't care.
I think
Genetics
It
doesn't care.
stops people from getting together in collective groups of over 150
And we've tried
without
that
one
experiment.
red thread,
Absolutely.
without one actual system holding them all together. Hence you have faith, hence you have constitutions, hence you have ideals,
Absolutely.
hence you have certain types of isms such
And
as
you know what this
socialism.
idea is?
Has it
sir?
worked for England,
So,
though?
yeah, but you know what this idea is? This idea
Well,
is
I think it's
No,
worked.
that's what I mean.
I
Has
think
it
it's
worked for
worked.
England?
Yes.
I think when you get an ethnically
Yeah.
homogenous country like Russia,
To an
it's
extent.
not that
English?
nice.
For the English, has
everybody
it
has
worked?
worked.
Yeah, for you it's worked because
What?
you left.
Not for you worked as well.
Because it didn't happen in your country. It didn't work, so you had to come to this country.
No,
where it
no.
works for you,
No,
but it doesn't work for me.
But you know what? Studies have shown to
What, like
argue to support
that
this.
kind of a
What, like
support-
multi-ethnicism doesn't work?
It doesn't.
I disagree with multiculturalism. I do believe in a
Okay,
kind of
I think you're
everyone
better.
has to be on the
Correct.
same. Everyone has to tolerate.
Monocultural, multi-ethnic societies have a much better chance than multi-ethnic. But to add to this person's point, it's a very strong point. If you look at the studies, the recent large study in the US, they took black, brown, white, Hispanic, and Asian people, and they gave them 3 things to order. Do you care about your race, your ideology, and your religion? Here's what the data looks like. It's stunning. 80 to 82% of blacks, 78% of Hispanics, and about 60% of Asians.
Can I explain this?
So give me a second. Give me a second. Said, oh no, we identify as race number 1. Only 40% of whites did. Second, let me finish my point. You can jump in. And after the same thing applied for ideology and that. So it looks like collectivizing into groups is a non-white phenomenon. Whites tend to show up in the SLEO gene as being very individualistic. So when you come to this idea, the proposition that you want a multi-ethnic, multicultural society, you're asking whites to become either collective or non-whites to lose collectivism.
I wouldn't say
it's
that's
a mess.
based on the
Well, I
race
think
itself.
that-
I'd say that's based on the history of the people. In that white people generally are ones who have travelled across the seas and had done individualistic.
No, it's genetic.
It's not genetic, so to
There's a
speak.
strong
It is.
genetic
go on.
In terms of the way that the white people where they're based in the world. Take England for example. We went off and we sailed to other lands and we did
May as well be.
terrible things in other lands, but we took that choice to sail off to other lands, right? So therefore it's not based on
It's
genetics
more than
at all.
white,
It's
more
based
than
on a lot of different things. First off, that you have the idea of sailing off to other lands, an individualistic thing to go and take more, bring it back because I as a person want more. But in terms of places like Africa, where you have this huge landmass, lots of tribes working together, that's why you working together. You identify more towards that tribalistic group mentality if you are in that sort of.
So let me counter that quite simply. So I can counter that at 2 levels of the stack. I can look at the SLEO representation of this gene that plots people into the clusters of which I've indicated. I can look at a higher social order like there. So let me give you an example. Since 1972, since US political records, the libertarian individualistic movement has tried for 60 years to get non-whites to be individuals. But from the 2012 Obama, both the elections Obama won, the most conservative, libertarian, non-white, black United States Americans voted with their race.
Oh, that's not why
They
voted.
did not vote with their individualism. They voted
Was
with
it
their...
98% voted for Barack
Correct.
Obama blacks?
Despite declaring, self-declaring to be
The majority of black
libertarian.
people tend
They
to
will
vote
vote
Democrat
with
anyway.
Politics is to do with
It's
his
your
colour.
biology.
No, the majority
It's
of
to
black
do
people
with your-
They
vote
vote
Democrat
for
anyway.
him because he's black.
They voted Bill
98%.
Clinton.
Literally, they only
Bill
voted
Clinton
him.
was very popular in
That-
the black
that
community.
much
It had
of a
nothing to do with the fact he
percentage
was
is
black. It
No,
was
but
the fact
that's
he
not
was
the
Democrat.
country.
So don't try and say that
If
we're
you're
not
if Thomas
entitled to
Sowell,
our
if
identity.
Thomas Sowell,
Because when we're entitled to look after our people,
Yes,
we're racist.
which you
But
are.
when you do,
no,
You are and you're not.
If Thomas Sowell went against Hillary Clinton would win hands down.
What are you trying to make of this conversation?
They're trying to say
the point
that
is,
Yeah,
every
point.
single one of us, unless we buy into it, are individualists.
Okay.
Yeah? Based on our tribe, whether it be English, whether it be African, whatever.
even the Welsh. Don't you think that
even the
tribalism is savage?
We stand next to each other, brothers in arms.
Yes.
And as an Englishman,
You're like, there's people trying to, and we're meant to sit back and accept this multiculturalism wet dream? No.
Let me give an example. If
But
you went to
that
Afghanistan,
does depend on
that's
what
what
you
people
consider
say,
as
not here.
multiculturalism.
What?
Not
Except
here
what?
and now, not even here and now. People sitting at home in the north, in the south, anywhere in England.
what?
That's generally, it's more than this conversation.
Except
It's more
what?
than here and now.
Why?
What have you left behind?
It's not- What have you left behind?
No, you.
What have, no,
you
I'm
are
still
the
here.
complaint.
I'm in England. I'm from here.
But you
What have you left behind? What have you left
What?
behind?
Why are you lacking
They're
behind?
English and they're staying in England.
No, what are you lacking behind?
Don't ask me what I've left
by
behind.
a whole
You've left
different-
behind.
No, because you're complaining.
You've
I'm
left
not.
behind. Yeah.
I'm not
You've left
complaining.
Well, let me put this
You
way.
must left
Let me put this
behind
way.
because you are
left behind
complaining
your country,
of
I've not.
multiculturalism, isn't it?
I've not left my country behind.
no one
I'm still
bombs your
here.
country.
You're not.
No, the point is that what are you left
Someone's got
behind that multiculturalism has not worked for you?
Can I say something?
cohesion,
Can we?
low
What?
cost society.
What have you left
Why should
behind?
it? Why should it?
No, what have you left behind?
Go on, my friend. You haven't
Alright,
spoken. in a
can
while.
we differentiate?
He doesn't want to answer.
Differentiate.
I don't leave my country. I'm still
Between
here.
Sorry?
multiculturalism.
No, he says multiculturalism hasn't worked.
Okay,
Yeah.
But what you're actually going to be asking is what is multiculturalism not done for you?
Okay.
Not what we've left behind. You're asking
No, because
The answer is quite easy. It has broad.
No, I don't know what the answer is. He's asking
Yeah, but the answer is quite easy in the
I've not left
data.
it behind, darling. I'm
no,
still here.
No, I know.
Yeah, it led to
He's
low
left his
trust,
country behind.
low trust, low cohesion. And to answer this
No, there
gentleman's
must be
point,
something
if the English
he
went to
hasn't got it
Afghanistan
that I
today
got it.
and how gay parades everywhere and open sex clubs, the
English
Afghani
is
people
my
would
second
freak
language.
the
Maybe-
fuck out.
maybe
I'm
the
sorry,
way I
but
said
English
it.
people are getting
Yeah.
going crazy. No offense, sorry, I'm not racist. That's not too good.
So you are saying
Sorry, not all English. There are groups of people in England who are going crazy. There are groups of people who are going crazy just because they're putting halal meat in school meals or something. I mean, what? How does that bother you?
Yeah,
Can anyone even tell the difference between halal and normal meat?
So let me ask you a question.
The actual idea of leaving something behind is difficult because
Go
as
back
an
to
English
the bloody
person,
kitchen.
unless you are literally Celtic, then your ancestors will have come here from a different country. If you took your last name, I'm sure there are many English names where they have a basis in French, they have a basis in German, they have a basis in Spanish. So therefore, England as a culture is built up of multicultural people from
That's
over
what I mean about
2,000 years.
The English language came from
Very
Germany.
simply.
You can prove by genetics.
If we start doing this whole everyone should go back to their original homeland,
Because none of us will be
Let
here.
this man
none of
talk,
us
he
will be
doesn't
here.
usually
It'll just be a couple of Irish.
No, this man needs it because he doesn't usually talk. And if he talks, I know it's. I know it's.
What I'm saying is, I disagree to a certain extent. Because if I understand anything, England, right, has a certain amount of purity attached to it. He's probably an example.
England has not been pure.
Yes,
for
it has.
1,000
It
years,
goes
man.
back to the. It goes back to the Celts, and it goes back to even to the Vikings when that whole-
Vikings came from Scandinavia, man.
Yeah, I
not
know,
England.
but there's a certain amount of conquering gone on in order to get to that purity of English. Now, when you
Pure.
look at
Why
those
they are
things-
pure?
when you look at those things,
I know you're
I'm
gay.
not trying to-
Why not?
And no offense, I'm not
What
trying to
makes
be
you
rude,
pure?
but
This gentleman.
before
What do you mean by pure?
multiculturalism, Europe was not a peaceful
Because he
place.
talks sense, unlike you.
Okay, what do you mean by pure?
whiter than white, to the
Whiter
point
than
where
white?
yeah,
You're talking
whiter than
about,
white.
like,
So if
Are you
you're
talking
whiter
about
than white,
pure?
does it make you a certain level of individual or race?
Yeah, it can do. And I want to go further then and talk about
when
what happened in modern history,
Can I just
which
say-
is this guy Adolf Hitler.
Good point.
He put forward the notion of the Aryans are the master race.
Well, no, it was more about Lebensraum and wanting to
Turn
take
around, bro.
Ukraine, Russia, and the Baltics. He didn't.
Okay.
I mean, he was fighting alongside Italians and Hungarians.
Hello.
Who I thought were idiots.